Hey there, and welcome to The Explainer. Look, if you're tuning in today, I'm guessing you're a parent or a caregiver who cares deeply about your child's education. But honestly, you might also be feeling a little frustrated, or maybe just totally overwhelmed. The homework battles, the lack of interest, the absolute daily struggle to just get them to engage, we have all been there. It is exhausting, right? Well, take a deep breath. Today, we're going to look at a highly effective, incredibly supportive framework that's really designed to spark that internal drive in your kids. We're breaking down 12 proven strategies to motivate your child to learn. And please don't worry, this is absolutely not about adding more pressure to your plate. It's just about working smarter, not harder.
Okay, so take a look at this complete 12-strategy framework from Education Corner. Now, I know, at first glance, seeing 12 different bubbles orbiting around the center, it might look like a daunting list of extra chores for you. Please don't look at it that way. I really want you to view this as a flexible toolkit. You don't use every tool in a toolbox at the exact same time, right? You just pull out the one you need right when you need it. These are just options. They're different pathways to reach your child, depending entirely on the day, their mood, or the specific challenge you happen to be facing.
To make this super easy to digest, we've organized these 12 strategies into 4 main buckets. First, shifting your educational mindset. Second, empowering your child. Third, bringing joy into daily action. And finally, celebrating the journey together.
All right, let's dive right into Section 1, shifting your educational mindset. This is all about changing how we view success.
You know, before we can truly motivate our kids, we kind of have to start with ourselves. We need to gently shift our own internal narrative, specifically choosing to focus on learning rather than performance. As parents, it is so incredibly easy to obsess over the grades, the test scores, the gold stars, the whole shebang. But think about a classic homework struggle for a second. Your child is literally in tears over a math worksheet. Instead of pressuring them to get 100%, just shift the focus. Say something like, "Hey, I just want to see how your brain tries to solve this." You immediately release the pressure in the room. You're teaching them that the beautiful, messy process of actually acquiring knowledge is the real goal here.
So building on that, let's look at 3 specific mindset shifts from our framework. We just talked about focusing on learning, not performance. Next is focusing on their strengths. When a kid is really struggling with a subject, it is so easy to laser focus on that deficit. But leaning into what they are already naturally good at builds this deep reservoir of confidence. And finally, share your enthusiasm. Motivation is incredibly contagious. If we approach a new topic with dread, well, they're going to dread it too. But if we show excitement, it changes the atmosphere of the entire room.
I really want to hammer home this idea of sharing your enthusiasm. It's probably the most low-stress strategy in this entire toolkit. You don't need a perfectly crafted lesson plan or a fancy curriculum to pull this off. You simply need to model your own passion for discovering new things. When your child sees you exploring a new hobby or getting genuinely amazed by a documentary, even if you kind of have to fake a little excitement for middle school earth science, you are showing them that learning isn't just a chore, it's a vibrant, lifelong adventure.
Okay, moving right along to Section 2, empowering your child. Basically, giving them the reins. To actually empower your child, we have to transition from just guiding them all the time to actually letting them lead. Think of these 4 strategies as your agency-building tools. You want to put them in the driver's seat, encourage open and sincere communication, focus on their interests, and try different learning styles. And a quick note here, open communication isn't just with your kid, it's with their school too. Try using really specific collaborative phrases when talking to their teachers. Say things like, "What strengths do you see in class that we can build on at home?" Or, "How can we partner to give them more agency in this subject?" That completely replaces the daily power struggle with a unified partnership. The absolute core of this empowerment is putting your child in the driver's seat. Literally, whenever you can, give them choices. Let them pick which book to read, which project to tackle first, or even where they want to sit while they do their homework. Giving a child a genuine sense of autonomy and control over their own learning environment dramatically, and I mean immediately, boosts their internal motivation. Still within this whole idea of empowerment is trying different learning styles. This is absolutely crucial. If your child is constantly hitting a brick wall, it doesn't mean they're incapable, and it definitely doesn't mean they're lazy. They might literally just need a different approach. You know, some kids are kinesthetic learners. They just need to move around. Some need visual diagrams, while others need to talk it out loud. By trying different styles, you empower them to discover how their unique brain works best. It totally reframes a frustrating roadblock into this exciting moment of self-discovery.
Which brings us to Section 3, bringing joy into daily action, making education a part of everyday life.
Now this is where education actually meets real life. let's talk about some daily action tools. To help your child stay organized, try implementing a super simple morning checklist. 1, make sure their backpack is packed the night before. 2, they eat a healthy breakfast. And 3, they just state one quick goal for the day. Once that foundation is set, you can so easily weave in 3 simple daily learning activities without it feeling like extra work, like 20 minutes of reading before bed, playing a strategy board game right after dinner, or having them help you measure out ingredients for a meal. Building these habits makes learning seamless and incredibly low stress.
Okay, I literally have to highlight this one because it's basically a parenting cheat code. Make learning game-based. If you have a child who's just completely resistant or deeply frustrated, taking a challenging concept and turning it into a game is one of the most effective, joy-filled ways to bypass that resistance. The exact moment a task becomes a game, their brain completely shifts from, I have to do this, to, ooh, I want to solve this. The stakes are suddenly lowered, the pressure is totally off, and their engagement naturally skyrockets.
Make every day a learning day. Please let this be a comforting reminder to you. Formal homework, it's only one tiny slice of education. Counting out change at the grocery store, measuring those baking ingredients we just talked about, or even just figuring out why a bug is crawling up a leaf in the backyard, those natural, everyday curiosities count just as much. Life itself is the curriculum. It really is. Finally, we arrive at Section 4, celebrating the journey together. This is all about validating the effort. As parents, we naturally tend to celebrate the massive milestones, right? The graduation, the final report card, but honestly, validating their day-to-day effort is what actually keeps their emotional tank full. Try a really simple evening routine. Just ask them, hey, what is one hard thing you tried today? This is exactly how you measure daily progress. You don't measure it by the percentage on a Tuesday math quiz. You measure it by their willingness to tackle a difficult problem or read just one extra page. When you start celebrating that grit, you fuel their motivation to keep going when things inevitably get tough.
So stepping back and looking at our complete toolkit from Education Corner again, hopefully it doesn't look quite as scary now, does it? You have this beautifully organized set of options. Whether you need to share your enthusiasm today, put them in the driver's seat tomorrow, or make learning game-based over the weekend, you have a wealth of supportive paths to guide your child. And the best part? You can do it without burning yourself out in the process.
I want to leave you with a bit of a challenge. We have unpacked a whole lot today, but remember, you don't need to do all 12 things at once. Just pick one. Which of these strategies will you try today? And more importantly, what do you think would happen to your child's love of learning if you entirely stopped worrying about their grades and only praised their curiosity starting tomorrow morning? Really think about that. Thank you so much for joining me on The Explainer. Keep encouraging, keep exploring, and I'll catch you next time.